Welcome to the Dream Big series. Today, I, Gertrude Owusu Adi, am in the studio of a very well-known great Mr. Kweku Sintim Misah, and he's here in the studio with us. Sir, you are welcome.
Thank you very much. You are welcome as well.
Thank you. So, we know you very well as Mr. KSM, but we don't know a lot about you. Sir, you've been a child before. Who are your parents and where were you born?
Well, I was born in Kumasi. Long ago. I was born in Kumasi, and my parents, well, should I say were? My parents, my father was the Right Reverend Sintim Misah. He was the head of the Presbyterian Church in Ghana, the whole Presbyterian Church. He was the big man. And then my mother was called Mary Uforiwa. We always called her, popularly known as Auntie Mary. That was my mother, you know. So those were my parents, and I was born in Kumasi.
So how was it like for you growing up?
Very interesting, you know. When we were growing up, we didn't have all the things that you have now, you know. What do you call that? Smartphone, the computer games, all those things that you play with, you know. We just had nothing. We just had our toys, you know. So growing up was a lot of playing with each other, a lot of conversations with each other. These days, you see the kids sitting down and one has a phone, the other one also has a phone, and then they'll be chatting, you know. We didn't have that in that time. So we actually talked to each other and played with each other. There was a lot of fun and games with each other.
Also, did you have any siblings?
There were 6 of us. There were 6 of us. So I have 3 other brothers and then 2 sisters.
So were you more like used to your brothers much more than your sisters? Or you were the type who was always with the sisters?
I am very close to my sister who comes just before me. But we're all together, you know, except the 2 of us were quite close.
So we hear you are many things. You are a talk show host, you are a satirist, you are a writer, and also a director. Could you please share us something about these areas of your work with us?
There are different areas of the work, but they all come under one big umbrella, if I should put it that way. It's called the creative arts. You know, I'm a creative artist, which means I can do writing, I can do directing, I can do acting, I can do talk show hosting. And talk shows is what you're doing right now. You're interviewing me, and that's what I do with many people. They come to the studio here, and I interview them. And you are the first person in the world to come to my studio and interview me in my studio. It has never happened before. Gertrude. So you have set the record. So that's what I do, you know.
So which schools did you attend? Which subjects did you learn to become all these work? A talk show host, a writer, a satirist? How?
As you grow, you also realize that sometimes there's not one particular school you can go to for everything you want to do. The important thing is that you go to school and you get the education, you know. I went to Kumasi Primary School. That time it was called Kwame Nkrumah University Primary School. Then I went to Prempeh College for my secondary school. I went to Presec for 1 year, then I went to Prempeh College. Then I went to NAFTI, then I went abroad. But all of these times I was getting education. So finally when I got to the university, then I decided to study theater arts and communications. And then that was my bachelor's degree. From then I went to do my master's and I studied filmmaking. It's all part of the educational process, growing up and learning so many things.
You were saying you weren't having all the things we are having now. So sir, how did you get to abroad?
Oh, I was talking about the kind of things you have now, like your internet.
So yes, you're talking about things like that. You see, it's our parents who get them for us, and it's because they are rich. And in what you said, you were saying that you don't get those things. Instead, you talk personally with the person. So does that mean that your parents were not rich or what?
No.
They were rich?
It just means that our society was different, you know. For example, do you know that when I was growing up, there was nothing called remote control? If you want to,
Really?
yeah, if you want to change the channel from the television, you walk to the TV and then you change it. Gra. There's no, you can't sit down like you do now, you know. So I was just saying that there are some of the things that you guys do now that in our time wasn't there. And even the station was only one station. So we can't go and change to another station anyway. You're surprised then? There was no cable. There was no, what do you call it? There was nothing. Go to your house and that time it was called Ghana Television. It wasn't called GTV. It was called Ghana Broadcasting Corporation Television, GBC TV. No, so then that's it. You can't change it. So our time was very different from your time.
So was it that difficult in those days?
Well, that's what we enjoyed. You see how you are enjoying your life now. You are having fun now, right? With all your games. By the time you are old and you have children, you'll be surprised what they will be having. It will be very, very different from what you had. You'll be surprised what they will be having. Maybe they will be having cars that fly and things like that. It's very, very possible. And then they will ask you to go for an interview and say, did you enjoy your childhood? You say, yeah. You enjoyed it because at that time, that was what was there. So you had fun with it.
Right now, I've learned that you are a talk show host. So what are the challenges you face as a talk show host and how do you deal with them?
Fortunately for me, I'm an entertainment talk show host. So with entertainment talk show host, it's all about fun, You get people who are doing entertainment, then they come to your studio and then you have fun, And then I stretch it. I also talk to people who are doing things that are exciting. For example, there was somebody that came on my studio, some teenagers from somewhere in Koforidua who had built their own car with wood. But you can actually start the car and let the car move, So my guests are entertainers and people who are doing very, very amazing things. So it makes it easy. It's fun. As opposed to maybe somebody is a talk show host, but they are a political talk show host, That one, when it's politics, then you have to be very careful. You don't want to annoy one politician. You don't want to, you know what I'm saying? So my doesn't have challenges at all. It's all fun. If I have any challenge, maybe it's because I want a guest to come on my show and the guest is not available or the guest is busy and I can't reach them and that kind of stuff. But those are not challenges. They are just part of the job.
In all what you are saying right now, who has influenced you the most?
My biggest influence was my father. Because when I was growing up, he was there to provide the directions and the guidance and everything. And I also respected what he was doing, So I was like, I really looked up to him.
So what are the books you read and why do you read them?
I read books mostly that give me information on how you can write good television scripts or good screenplays, script writing books. I don't really read stories, I just read the books that help me understand how you write, that help me understand how you create a character for a TV show that's interesting, Maybe I come to you and I says, Gertrude, I want you to write a movie, and in that movie, the actress wins $1 million. What does she do with the money? So that is a challenge for you as a writer to come up with a very interesting character. So those are the kind of books I read, books that help me to understand how I can create interesting characters, how I can write nicely for people to enjoy.
Sir, now I want you to tell I and my viewers something about your family and children.
Well, my family consists of my wife and my 5 children. Can't even call them children now because they are all adults. Even my last one has finished university. So they are all grown-ups now, basically. They are not in the country now. All of them are abroad, working and things like that, But when they were young, like your age, then I used to play basketball with them. I used to ride bicycles with them and travel with them and have all kinds of fun with them, And I used to make them laugh a lot too.
You told me only about your children. What about your wife? You've not told me anything about her.
She will love you, Pa, for asking this question. My wife is also a very, 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 very hardworking woman, and she works with the World Bank. She is like responsible for IC development in the Africa region. So that's what she does. Very, very busy woman, and she travels a lot.
Sir, could you please share with us your favorite programs?
On radio, TV, or where?
Any of them.
Any of my favorite. I don't have a particular favorite that I don't miss, you know. So I don't have any program like that that when it's on I have to stop everything I'm doing to go and watch, you know. But I enjoy different kinds of programs every now and then.
So, sir, what if there's this program going on and it's very educative? Won't you stop what you are doing to go and watch it?
No, maybe I tell my children to stop what they are doing and go and watch it. Me, I think the things that really excite me now, they are not on TV, or there are no programs that I can go and watch, you know. Maybe a movie, a very, very profound movie. I like to go and watch it. Yeah.
Sir, how and where did you find inspiration?
My inspiration is very, very strange, but it just happens, you know. It's not like I have a time or a place to go to look for inspiration, you know. I can be sitting down with you like this, and then all of a sudden I get inspired to write a show about a young girl called Gertrude who performs amazing interviews. Let me see what I can do. Maybe I can write a script and I'll make the Gertrude a Ghanaian who goes to the US and she does this and she does that, you know. Then the inspiration just comes, you know. It can come at any time. So that's how I get inspired.
Sir, it's just that I feel like laughing.
You can laugh.
Because what you're saying, it's touching me. I think I'll follow your steps.
Yeah?
Sir, what do you do when you are not working?
I like watching movies. You know, I go to Silverbird. You know, when I'm not working, I either watch movies or I like just driving. Driving, not in Accra. Accra is too noisy. I get on the road, maybe I drive to Ho or Sogakofe or some other area, you know, just driving. I love it.
According to UNICEF, 1 in 4 children they are dying in poverty. So what are your thoughts about it, and what steps can we take to end child poverty in Ghana?
Well, it's a very unfortunate situation. And since before you were born, we were talking about ending child poverty. Even when I was your age, we were talking about it, and we're still talking about it. Which means that we are not really putting in enough of the time and energy to end child poverty. I think if all of humanity can understand, all of human beings can understand that everybody has a responsibility to contribute. You see, we always think that it's somebody's job. That's the thing. Oh. We always think that, oh, but this person should do it, oh, but that person should do it, or should do it, you know. But if we all decide that we all have the responsibility, it will change things a lot and do the little that we can to help with those that are poor and disadvantaged.
Sir, you are Mr. Kweku Sintim Misah, but you are popularly known as KSM. Why KSM?
Well, when you are in entertainment, especially entertainment, you want a name that people can remember easily and say it easily. You know, so I remember when I started, before I became a talk show host on TV, I was doing radio, you know, and always signing off as, well, thank you for joining me, and this is Kweku Sintim, Misah signing off, see you next week, you know. And then somebody said, this Kweku Sintim Misah is too long for a radio thing, you know. Why don't you go by your initials when you are signing off? This is KSM, or when you come on KSM, you know. So that's what he says. Okay, I'll try that. So I started signing off as KSM, You know, I would say, well, this is Kweku Sintim, Misah, also known as KSM. So people gradually started thinking, oh, okay, KSM, KSM, KSM now. More people know KSM than Kweku Sintim, Misah.
Wow.
So that's why I changed it. I haven't changed it, I just use it for my entertainment purposes.
Yeah. Sir, can you please tell us a story that has made an impact on your life?
Somebody told me a very short story when I was growing up long, long, long ago. And it says two children were playing. And then one came to the other one and he said, hey, I have a bird in my hand. I want you to tell me whether the bird is dead or alive. And if it's alive, then I will give you toffee. I'll give you chocolate. Something like that, you know. And then the other guy said, you know, I think the bird is alive. But if I say it's alive, because you don't want to give me the chocolate, you squeeze it and kill it so that you don't give me the chocolate. And if I say it is dead, you open your hand and let it fly. So he said, whether the bird is dead or alive, it is in your hands. Do you understand it?
I'm quite confused.
I know you're quite confused, but he was trying to say that everybody has power in their hands to do what they want to do. You get through, you say you want to be an actress, right?
Yeah.
It's in your hands. I'm not the one that's going to make you an actress, so it's in your hands to study what it takes to be a good actress. It's in your hands to study, to understand those who have been through and what they did. It's in your hands to ask questions. Plenty. It's in your hands. So that's the story that I was told long ago that made a profound impact on me. That, so everything I want to do, I have the power to decide. Are you clear now, or you're still confused?
No, I'm not confused. Wow. Sir, today I have come to know that you are a very kind and a generous man. I'm really happy. Viewers, aren't you happy? Because at first I knew you to be KSM, the talk show host. But I didn't really know that you are this, you are fun. Wow. Sir, thank you very much for allowing me, Gertrude Owusu Adi, into your studio. Isn't that amazing? For me to come and interview the owner of the studio in his own studio. I've had my chance. Come for yours. Come and interview him. He's really fun. Well, catch us next time. Bye.